Hey guys, I have died 10 times already and I'm still in Act 9. How about that? But how is the league going for you? But in this video I wanted to mainly talk about my experience as a Wander, as a league starter Wander. Basically with no currency. I think I invested like maybe 5 hairs into this build only. So it's basically a very budget build. The most expensive thing is a blank 5-link body armor, which I crafted with some resistance and life. But in general, I wanted to start as a Kinetic Bolt because it's new thing, and I think many people are gonna be interested to know how Vans feel like at the start of the league. Also, I'm not entirely sure, did we buff everything? Because I had a lot of people having lots of issues just defeating normal bosses through acts like 7 plus or even 5 plus. Delirium is very fun. I actually did not expect it to be this interesting and this spooky, so much unknown, but enemies are very scary, like very scary. But what's up with all the bosses feeling stronger? I died to Merivale once, I almost died to Hilo, what the hell? And I died like 3 times to Ralakesh. I have never died against those before, so maybe just the build, or maybe they did buff all the bosses. I'm not entirely sure, but in general I'm playing with the Kinetic Bolt for clear speed and for single target. So the experience is that right from the start it did not feel good at all. The clear speed wasn't really there. I had to invest more into damage. The single target was absolutely terrible, and I did not use like any other setup like Valpower Siphon with barrage support for single target, which would be much better for single target. I wanted to exclusively use Kinetic Bolt basically, and currently I'm using Volley. I like how Volley looks like with Kinetic Bolt, and no, it does not seem to shotgun. Winding really, I mean, I knew that it's gonna be bad, but I mean, I was kind of expecting it to be better. This does sound like a Winding league almost, maybe more like a mana league than Winding, but there are lots of things that you can do with Wands, like Kinetic Bolt takes 150% off spell damage and converts into attack damage basically. As far as I know, you cannot stack Kinetic Bolt and that 150 of spell damage into attack damage and stack it with like Crown of Ice or Slinger Node. Those do not stack, otherwise you could get like 450% of spell damage into attack damage and would be completely insane. Like, Winding was really not a pleasant experience and I would actually not recommend it, but now that I'm in Act 9 and got a 5-link, got a Moon Sorrow Wand, now it's starting to look better, but even now single target is not the best, and I do swap from Volley into barrage support, which may not be the best, but for now it does the job. What I have, Herald of Ice, Wrath, and one Spell Slinger setup, but this is just kind of for trying things out, and I have Spell Slinger linked with I have it linked with Purifying Flame, and this actually works surprisingly well for healing my golem and me. And it does some damage, but it doesn't really, it isn't for damage. Wands are still not ideal for the league start. If you want a good league start, animate weapons I think are gonna be one of the most meta things this league. Stormbind does have like interesting thing going on with it. I may actually do another video about that. I'm actually gonna do a video talking about all the new jumps and skills and supports and how they interact and what cool things you can do about that, maybe for the next video. Just quickly, the way I tried to build Wander, actually I was planning on doing Trickster, but at the very last moment I decided to go Assassin because it just gives overall more stuff. So I'm actually going Eldritch Battery to be able to reserve all of the mana and not really worry about like getting more mana regen, because I just get some energy shield no matter what, and the rest just going crit, generic crit, attack speed, life, getting to the biggest one nodes. I'm gonna be getting only one large jewel socket, whatever, cluster jewel socket, and people have reported that they start getting them since Act 5 or so. So if you're not getting them, don't worry, just keep leveling, you're gonna get it later. Also, sorry if this video sounds a bit all over the place, because I'm pretty hyped, didn't really get much sleep, but still hyped, so my thought process is a bit all over the place. Hopefully you can still get the idea that vands are not really good for League start. You can start with them, but you're not gonna have a good experience. If it's like your second build and you have some items prepared, then it's gonna be okay-ish, I guess. But I had people using Spellslinger with multiple supports, like with on a free link Spellslinger, and that's helping with the single target and just in general damage a lot more. By the way, Spellslinger, a quick thing how it works: it reserves 20% of your mana. The easiest way to explain is imagine Blasphemy, but instead of linking with curses, you link it with spells. So it just reserves the mana, and when you attack, it procs. Attack with Wand, specifically with Wand. It procs and has a half-second cooldown. By default, it reserves 20% of your mana, but every single support gem will increase that mana cost. But if you add 2 spells into the same Spellslinger, each skill is gonna reserve additional 20%. The good thing is that you don't need multiple Spellslinger setups, and with one click you can activate all the Spellslingers linked to the same skill to the same Spellslinger support. But other than that, there's like nothing too special about it. I'm not entirely sure. You should be able to reduce the mana reservation, I think. I'm not entirely sure about that. But if you are lacking damage and your passive skill tree and items give you decent amount of spell damage, and or in any other way you get like scaling for spells, definitely give Spellslinger a try. It may boost your damage quite a lot more. On my build it doesn't really do much because I'm mostly focusing on wand nodes and crit, and that's not really enough for spells. Now I'm curious, what's my damage with this thing? 2.8k average damage. Maybe it does do some damage. Maybe I should give it another try and add more stuff. But my tooltip DPS is over 25,000 with power charges, I believe. Maybe close to 30,000 on a 5 link with volley. I'm gonna be replacing volley with GMP, I think. I can't really afford losing damage right now, because I can't really. I mean, I don't have a single target setup, so if there's some tougher enemies, especially in Delirium Fog, I have to defeat it with Kinetic Bolt. But I'm gonna be replacing most of my items. I'm not sure about the wand. Maybe I can live with this wand. I would like to get a better one. This one is 237 DPS, and spell damage actually gives you more damage than just attack damage or elemental damage, because 10 spell damage is gonna give you 15 attack damage for Kinetic Bolt. In the end, I would love to experiment with Indigon and Kinetic Bolt or some similar setup, but I think I'm gonna leave Indigon for maybe a second build, because that's gonna be expensive. All the mana items are probably gonna be a bit pricey. So yeah, I'm not sure how this video turned out. I don't feel very strongly about this video quality, but I don't really want to redo it because I want to keep playing it and catch up to everyone else, because at the league start I only played 3 hours, then went to bed, and then streamed another 7 hours, so it has been 11 hours since I played this build. So that's it for now. Next video should be pretty soon. Probably gonna talk about all the jewels and how they interact, and maybe some cool mechanics you can try out. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon again. Oh my god, this video. Bye bye.